Although my DIY wall-mounted arcade machine is primarily made up of plywood, there are just a few 3D printed components in here that really help this whole project come together. Once you have a 3D printer, you start to realize that these unique problems that come up in any type of build project might just have a solution at your fingertips if you can just find a 3D file or design one and print it out to be, yay big or this material or this color, etc. So I'll show you what I mean. We can start with an easy one, right here at the controls. When I was putting the joysticks in, I realized mine didn't come with dust washers. Basically just those plastic circles that go around the base of the joystick so dust and stuff stays out of the mechanism. First, I just googled how much it would be to just buy them, and then I quickly realized that no matter how cheap they are online, the shipping would just make it not worth it. And then I finally remembered that I have a 3D printer and I can print out a couple of plastic circles pretty easily. So I just whipped up a cylinder in FreeCAD, made sure it was the right size, and hit print, and literally just a few minutes later, I had two perfectly sized brand new dust washers in any color I wanted. No shipping required, and it probably cost me a few cents in filament instead. Next up, we'll move inside the arcade cabinet to see some other 3D prints in this build. One of the major hurdles to installing gaming PC components inside a DIY arcade cabinet is just that. Pretty much all PC components are designed to fit into a PC case, but since I don't have one, there's nowhere for them to really attach normally. When your PC case is essentially a big wooden box, there are no motherboard standoffs built in, so you have to make your own somehow. I found a few methods online on how to achieve this, but I ultimately went with 3D printing these little motherboard standoffs. The design is offset, which allows you to attach the standoffs to the motherboard and still have room to screw the 3D printed standoff to the wood. I like this method since it elevates the motherboard above the wood and allows you to determine those screw points as you go. There's no need to pre-drill the pattern of the motherboard holes, just attach the standoffs to the motherboard first and then just go around and drill the standoffs into the wood. I printed like 24 of these motherboard standoffs. I used them not only for the PC motherboard but also for the controller boards because they're Brooks Zero Pis, so they have the same type of PCB hole. Next, I had to figure out how to mount the PSU. So I found a 3D print file online that fits a standard ATX PSU with mounting holes for the wood. So I printed it out and had the PSU mounted in no time. I mounted all the gaming PC components to a piece of scrap wood, which I mounted to the arcade cabinet frame with these wing nuts. So I can just undo the wing nuts and remove the whole PC should I ever need to do any upgrades or maintenance. And there's one more 3D print on the inside of the cabinet here. Although I can boot up the cabinet and control Big Box with just the normal controls, no keyboard required, sometimes whenever I need to run updates in Windows or something, I use a portable keyboard mouse remote thing to make it a little bit easier. But I kept leaving the remote places like on a different table or in a different drawer. I know, it's a tale as old as time. So I decided why not keep the remote with the cabinet so I can't lose it. And to keep the design clean, I put it right inside the door here so it's out of the way but always there when I need it. I took the measurements of the remote keyboard, added some room for the USB dongle, and added a screw hole at the top. Once I printed a version that I was happy with, I screwed it into the cabinet and now I can stow away my remote keyboard for whenever I might need it. So now that we've got our custom gaming PC components and remote keyboard mounted inside the cabinet, it's time to move on to the next 3D printed solution. For the power plug connection, I've got the C14 plug here so that I can use a removable D cable to power the arcade. However, in order to get it into the cabinet, the hole had to be bigger than the plug itself. So 3D printing to the rescue. To make a faceplate for that C14 connector, I started by finding a 3D file of a C14 plug, pairing it with a rectangle, and then taking the difference as a new compound object. With a little cleanup, it turned out great. Now I have a nice looking faceplate for the power connection on the bottom of the cabinet here, which really ups the fit and finish of the project. And saving the best for last, I made this DIY arcade cabinet with Guitar Hero in mind, and my favorite way to play lately is YARG, which stands for Yet Another Rhythm Game. One day while playing YARG, I kind of noticed the logo took some inspiration from a guitar neck, the strings going down, etc. So I thought, I wonder if a guitar hanger couldn't look like the YARG logo. And maybe that would fit nicely with the shape of the xplorer headstock. So I mocked up the shape and printed out some tests and finally landed on a design that I think captures the essence of the YARG logo, but made to hold your favorite plastic guitar. I thought for sure I would just mount the guitars right onto the cabinet, but they would have to hang pretty low to avoid touching the wall, so I'm just mounting them on the wall for now. So there we have it, all the 3D printed parts in my DIY wall-mounted plywood arcade machine. All in all, I'm really happy with the way my DIY arcade machine came out, but it certainly wouldn't have come this far with plywood alone. The 3D printed parts are perfect for those problems that might not otherwise have an obvious solution, or for adding a certain creative flair like these guitar hangers. Well, speaking of plastic guitars, it's time for me to rock out, so see ya.